To be quite honest, nothing happens actually. Not much unless you actually plan for things to happen. When I go back to 2019, it's my second year of grad school. And I remember my then girlfriend, now wife, she asked me, "What do you want to do after you graduate? Or what's the long term plan after this whole PhD thing?" And to be quite honest, I wasn't sure at that moment. Second year of grad school, I wasn't sure. Going into grad school, I like the goal was to get into the PhD program, and after that, it was like, all right, we'll figure out the next step once we get there. We'll cross that bridge once we get there. That was the thinking back then. So getting into grad school, I went in just to figure grad school out. The trajectory, I knew I didn't want to go into academia full time. I knew I didn't want to be a tenured professor. I didn't want to teach sociology for the rest of my life. I knew that wasn't the goal. By the time she asked me in 2019, what do you want to do? I am thinking, I mean, research of some kind. I know I would like to do that. I know I would like to do people research. And then she told me about user experience research. And with her being in big tech at the time and still to this day at the recording of this video, she said there's a lot of people with graduate degrees in tech doing this type of work. And I never heard of user experience research or customer insights research or anything that required a PhD in a social science to be applied to anything beyond academia. So she tells me about this, and I say, all right, well, let's see what this. Let's see. I wonder what that be like. Let me go down this path. And the path from academia to industry for me was through UX research or user experience research. Me making that jump from academic to industry started in summer 2019, summer 2020, where I started really thinking about getting work experience during grad school that was not just academic work, not just being a research assistant for this department, not just doing more academic work. Like, what does it mean to get job experience while I'm still in grad school? So I applied for a bunch of internships. I remember scouring LinkedIn. I remember going through Indeed. I remember going through actual career sites for each given company or organization and looking to see what was out there specifically for grad students, specifically PhD students. People would talk about the pathway from academia to industry on LinkedIn. So I joined groups on LinkedIn. I joined, or I started following people who talked about UX. I started learning more about user experience research just as a field. And I was cold calling people, well, not cold calling, cold emailing, cold DMing people on LinkedIn who I saw they had a PhD in anthropology, sociology, psychology, what have you, whatever social science. And then I saw them working at, oh, you work at Meta? Oh, you work at, oh, Instagram. Okay, you work Microsoft. Okay, Google. You work, all right, I'm going to talk to you. I want to see what your journey was like going from academia to industry. And also just, I want to learn about user experience research. What is UX? What, what, what in the world is this field? Talking to people, learning about their experiences. I'm building my vocabulary for what it means to talk about academic work in the context of an industry role when applying for an internship or for a job. So over time, those experiences started to build up with just, after I'll talk to one person, I say, well, who do you recommend I speak with next? And then they would say, oh, you can talk to my coworker. That'd be great. They'd love to talk with you. Or, this person, they actually do X, Y, and Z specifically for grad students, was helping to do, that make that transition. So with each person that I connect, I'm learning one more thing. I'm learning one more thing that'll take me to the next thing, to the next person. We get to summer 2021. That was actually when I got my first non-academic internship, and it was amazing. The company was a smaller, it's like a boutique research firm. They were based in where do they have a hub? They had a hub in Washington D.C. and then also I want to say San Francisco, California, or somewhere in California. Bottom line is, they were amazing. It was amazing working with them. That 3 month internship, going from May, or through May, June, July, extended to September because they were like, you want to stick around? I mean, we would love to still have you if you're available. And it was an amazing thing because the type of research we were doing, it was narrative analytics. And there were various types of industries that our work cross-cut. So there was U.S. government contracts. There were um, industry, like business contracts with various companies, and then with private sector. There we go. So U.S. government contracts, private sector company projects, and then there was um, social policy, community roots, community-based organization contracts. So across all those different types of work, I was putting my people science skills to work in a real world context. And I'm eternally grateful. And the people that I work with, they were amazing. People that I reported to, they were amazing. And that was the first time I had a non-academic job. It was the first time that I did something, I'll say in my adult years, because I've had other jobs, but they weren't industry research roles. So that's my first industry research role that was completely separated from anything academic. And it was amazing. It was like my mind opened up to what my degree could lead to. So then, summer 2022, I ended up working, securing another internship with a, what would I call this? A real estate company. And I'm being very cryptic for specific reasons. But that internship was amazing. That internship also got extended. It was supposed to be 3 months, and then we extended it. I think that was also went from 3 months to 6 months. And they would have, like, under better circumstances, they would have hired me, brought me on as a researcher after the internship. I could have led to a full-time job, but it didn't. But it's okay because I still had to finish my degree and I was focused on that. Now we get to internships, cool. Fast forward to when I'm about to finish my degree. Fast forward to May 2024, and I actually don't have a job lined up after I graduate. So when I say, what does your PhD lead to? Like, what does it mean after you actually get your degree? Nothing. Like, you literally have to make something shake through intentional, deliberate effort, by hitting milestones, by connecting with people, by getting out there. Whether you want to go the academic route or the industry route or do something completely different, just because you have a degree, that don't mean people are just going to be handing you jobs left and right. Because No, that is not how the world works. Just because you have a degree, that doesn't mean you automatically are sought after in a way that is like, oh snap, I got opportunities hitting me left and right. Now, the funny thing is, the current role that I have, I'm now a quantitative analytics, um, a data analytics researcher, quantitative researcher, and this is for a 3-year initiative. But the funny thing is, because of my PhD and because of just me being visible and searchable and available and active in my job search and being active specifically on LinkedIn, a recruiter found me for the current role that I have through LinkedIn because of my presence there, because I was active, because my information was current, because everything that I was doing was leading to the next thing, right? There was no stagnation with my approach to leaving grad school. It wasn't just, I graduated, now what? By the time I was in the mode of graduating, by the time I was in the mode of completing the degree, it was, all right, we're setting up for something. Even if the next thing doesn't hit for the 3 months or the 6 months or the 9 months, everything I'm doing right now is setting me up for next year, right? And in the wise words of both of my parents, they say the best time to find a job is while you have a job. And while I was in grad school, I was searching for opportunities to do things. You have to be very intentional about that. And even if you don't know exactly what it is you want to do, still being strategically active and strategically around people who are doing things that are similar to what you would like to do or stuff that you're at least interested in. Because the worst thing you can do is try to do all this stuff in isolation and act like can't nobody help you because your circumstances are too niche and only you can figure it out. No, you need community. You need to talk to people. You need to get in front of people's face because oftentimes people are only going to react to what's right in front of them. And when you're right in front of somebody else who has an opportunity, there may be a chance that that opportunity will be given to you because you are willing and able. So, getting a PhD doesn't necessarily mean you are going to be immediately in demand. And especially with us being in the digital age and the informational age where the educational system in the US, the way things used to work, where information was highly gate kept and it was behind the walls of academia. It was behind barriers that you needed degrees to access. Now it's like people are genuinely questioning the validity of even going to undergraduate studies. People are questioning, is college even worth it anymore? And especially, is a is a an advanced degree even worth the time and effort anymore in a social science field? Like social sciences they we don't be getting no type of respect when compared to any given scientific degree or engineering degree. So for anybody who is in their PhD journey, if you haven't already, please be diligent about what that next step looks like for you after you finish a program, whether it's a master's, PhD, what have you. It may be a little bit more streamlined if you're getting a Juris Doctorate or if you're getting a MD or you want to be an orthodontist or a dentist or something, where it's like, I'm going to school specifically for this field. It's a little bit more obvious. But if you're getting a PhD in psychology, boy, I mean, the world is your oyster because there's so much you can do with that type of degree. And psychology is not the most specific of fields. It's not like you're going to school to be a, a dentist. It's you have so many options, but you gotta work those options and use everything that you've learned, becoming a researcher, becoming a skilled academic, becoming someone who understands how to create knowledge and not just consume it, but create it, apply it, and teach it to others. Like that's what's one really dope thing about my degree. Like grad school was the best decision I could have made, just from a life standpoint. It set me up for an amazing trajectory, just in life, from a personal development standpoint. And when you think about education, just as a concept, I like to put it as K through 12. You're you're learning what to learn, where the instructors and teachers are like teaching you just what to learn, right? If you go to college, 4-year degree, bachelor situation, bachelor studies, bachelor of art, bachelor of science, then you're learning, instead of learning what to learn, you're learning how to learn or relearning how to learn. And then once you get into advanced degrees, now you're learning how to create knowledge. So I'm gonna walk you through that. Early education, and I'll say early education is K through 12, you're learning what to learn. Oh, these subjects exist: math, social studies, uh, physics, chemistry, uh, you know, like my ABCs, multiplication. Oh, that's what exists in the world from a academic educational standpoint. You're learning what to learn. You get to college, then it's learning how to learn. You're learning how you best approach education and how to consume information in a way that is the most effective for you because you have less supervision. You have less people telling you exactly what to do and how to do it. By the time you get to college, you're getting a little bit more autonomous with how you learn, with how you study, with what classes you take and what you do during your free time. Okay, learning what to learn, and then you're learning how to learn. Then once you get into advanced degree studies, you're learning how to create information so that other people can learn. And you're teaching other people what you learned. You're literally learning how to create knowledge. And it's a very formative experience as the person doing it. Because you consume so much information. But now it's at the grad student level. Now, what do you do with all that information? How do you move literature forward with whatever your project is, or whatever your research field is? How do you contribute to everybody else that's been writing about this topic for centuries? What is your piece of the pie? What is your contribution to the puzzle that is sociology, psychology, anthropology, biology, neuroscience, whatever the field is. So by the time you get to the point of I'm about to graduate, ideally you have have a clearer path about what to do next. Even if it's not completely decided, even if it's not completely set in stone, even if it's not concrete, oh, I have this job lined up as soon as I graduate. That's okay. It's okay. But still having a direction set. say I'm gonna go west instead of east. And I hope that made sense because the camera's flipped. But anyway, I'm gonna go west instead of east versus going north versus south. Because I know that if I go north, then this will lead me closer to what I know I'm gonna likely enjoy. Versus if I go east, I'll do it if I got to, but I don't really want to. So yeah, let's try to go north and see what's up there. Or you could be like Patrick and be, you go west. Do what you do. I mean, it's your life. I'm just somebody on the screen, and you just watching me talk about your life potential. But also, I've talked about my degree and all of that, and I'm in my little office slash studio. Hey, this is my doctorate. This is what the diploma look like. So yeah, like I actually have a PhD in sociology. Like this isn't a joke. So yeah, there's that. I still need to get a frame for it. I'm actually setting up to get one of those double frames so I can put my master's degree and my PhD degree in the same frame. And it's a whole thing. But yeah, there's that. Yeah, nothing happens unless something happens. And to make something happen, you actually gotta make something happen. So, and I would be remiss if I didn't give even more flowers to my then girlfriend, now wife, for even pointing me in a given direction. She has been so instrumental in my not just career development, but just personal development. Like, I married a real one. And that is all I'll say about that. Yeah. So for all my PhD students out there, I would love to see in the comments what your journey has looked like so far. Whether this is your first year or in your seventh year, I'm specifically curious about what you're thinking about, whether you want to go into the academic route or you want to go industry route or you want to go into entrepreneurship or you just want to marry rich and not have to work a day in your life. Different strokes for different folks. The possibilities are limitless in this thing called life. So I'm curious about what people got to say about their own lived experiences. This is just mine, and it's still going, and I hope for it to be going for another 80 plus years. Yes, I want to live to be 110, and what about it? Nah, but y'all, thanks for watching, and I'm curious to see what y'all stories are in the comments as well.